today's mug says, "What would Rachel Hollis do?" on it. I got this mug on Etsy as a gag gift to myself. The answer to what would Rachel Hollis do is probably sell some kind of scammy girl bosserific course, which is great because that's exactly the topic of today's video. Except instead of Rachel, who has managed to kind of chill the heck out recently, today we're talking about a different group of influencers who will be and have been selling a scammy girl boss course, and that is, of course, our old friends, Girl Defined!
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago. You guys asked for it.
What's up, my fellow small business supporters? I'm Savvy, and welcome back to Savvy Writes Books, the channel where we talk about books and business, where today we are going to be checking in on Girl Defined and their Girl Boss course. Now, I have made a bunch of videos on this course because there has been so much to cover, only for shortly after I posted the last video for Bethany of Girl Defined to release the official She Works Smart course. So if you guys haven't remembered, I've been covering this She Works Smart course for a long time, which is supposedly Bethany's course on how to sell courses to other people. It's like a pyramid scheme, basically.
It's a trap.
And then the other week, I saw that Bethany had just launched her first course, which was about thriving as a single woman, where you pay $250 for her to preach at you over a pre-recorded webinar about how it's totally okay if you're 19 and not married yet, even though Jesus is putting lots of pressure on you or whatever, okay?
We are young, okay?
Ooh, that coffee's nice and hot. Anyway, I was also wondering, when is she finally going to release this She Works Smart course, which is the course about how to sell other courses that she's been claiming she's going to launch for a long time and has been putting up stuff on Instagram about this whole time. Well, as it turns out, she launched that shortly after I released the video right before. So now we've got to talk about the She Works Smart course again. But before we get into all that, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because multiple times a week I put out new videos all about books and business, including critiquing the publishing industry, doing book reviews, talking about the movement against multi-level marketing companies, analyzing scams and girl boss culture and that type of thing, and just overall business ethics analysis, especially related to the publishing industry and selling courses to people who want to capitalize on others' desires to be entrepreneurial.
Busy being an entrepreneur.
So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and in the meantime, while you're here, take a look at my second channel, Your Morning Guru, where I stream live every single weekday morning at 7 a.m. Central. If you needed a little show to get you up in the morning, and you didn't want to turn on cable TV, because who even has that anymore, and you didn't want to put on the radio just to hear some political talking head screaming at you about one thing or another, then come hang out with me on my second channel, where I'll talk back to you in the chat, and we'll also have a good time roasting Darman and other things like that. Anyway, let's get into what's going on with the newly released She Works Smart course by Bethany of Girl Defined. So here is the She Works Smart course, where it's, Bethany, online course coach, helping women make passive income, multiple 5-figure plus creator. What does that mean? Does that mean she has 5 figures of subscribers? I guess the Girl Defined YouTube channel has over 100,000 subscribers. Wait, 100,000 is 6 figures. By multiple 5-figure, are you talking about how much money you've made? Because 5 figures is that's like $10,000 is 5 figures. Are you saying you make $10,000 a year? Because that's nothing to brag about, dude.
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
I don't even know what she means by that, okay? But anyway, she's got all this stuff about She Works Smart, which has just been launched. Now, she has this post up, right? This one says, how I made $6,000 in 1 week. But then when she lays out what she did, it's clear that she made $6,000 in 6 weeks, actually. Because she talks about how she created all this promo material, sold tickets to something, doesn't say what it was, created a free Facebook group, used Zoom sessions. I'm assuming this here is referring to the course that I talked about the other week on my channel, which was her course about how to thrive as a single woman, where she had 6 weeks worth of pre-recorded webinars to show you and make you feel less bad about being single when you're still perfectly young and it's totally fine to not be married. But she claims that she made $6,000 in 1 week, but then over here says her time commitment was 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. So 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. That doesn't sound like 1 week. You used the word week 3 times in that sentence, twice in a row, and also you said you did this over a period of 6 weeks. So Bethany, I don't even know what to believe about this, okay? But now if we go to Bethany's link tree over here, we can see that not only does she have all the same stuff as before, but she also has a masterclass, and she has sheworksmart.com, online course master training, all of the business guru girl boss stuff we're used to seeing, and the course is now out there for us to consume. Let me know in the comments below if I should take the course. I probably won't because you're going to see how expensive it is, okay? Maybe I will take the free webinar though. Join the masterclass, how to launch your own profitable online course business. You know what, guys? I think I need to take the masterclass. I think I do. Alright guys, I just signed up with my email for the masterclass, so maybe next week I'm going to take that. Get excited. But in the meantime, before we take the free masterclass, we all know that whenever someone launches one of these type of courses, the free masterclass is always there as a funnel to sell you on the paid course, which is going to be expensive. So here is the paid course, Online Course Master Training, a complete guide to creating and launching your own profitable online course business. And I guess we know that Bethany has experience to be teaching us about how to launch online courses because she has done it once before in her entire life, twice if you count this time, which is the selling course on how to sell courses that we don't even know if it's successful. This is the second time she's done it. The other time was that 6-week course about being a single woman that I covered the other week. My name is Bethany Beal, and I'm excited to help you start your very own profitable online course business so that, in all caps, so that you can make money on autopilot. Imagine where your life could be 6 months from now if you started your own profitable course. You can change your future. Now, let's see. She didn't end it in a 7. We always see business gurus ending their course prices in a 7, but she didn't do it this time.
You're not a guru.
Instead, she's decided to give us a discount. Isn't that amazing? This course has been out for like a couple days and it's already on sale. You know what that means? It means that the course was never the higher price. So Bethany over here has $2,000 with a slash through it and says it's actually $1,400. Ooh, we're saving $600. So where was it ever $2,000? Well, it's $2,000 if you pay monthly, I'm guessing, instead of if you pay at once. One-time payment of $1,400 or 6 monthly payments of $340, which I'm guessing is where the higher price comes from. I don't know. Let's do a little math real quick. Is that true? What's 340 times 6? I can't do that in my head. Okay, it's $2,040. So yeah. Oh, you could have made it look like it was an even bigger discount because it's $2,040 if you do the 6 monthly payments. So 6 installments and no discount. But if you pay all at once, you get the online course master training, instant access plus biggest discount available. Wow, I love big D's, big discounts, big dicks, big D's nuts. We love it. If you're sick of one-to-one coaching calls, discovery calls, exchanging your time for dollars, in what way is this course not exchanging your time for dollars? Bethany, you had to put time into creating this course, and the idea is that you're going to make dollars doing it. How are you not exchanging your time for dollars? Not fulfilling your passion and the 9-to-5 grind. Bethany, you have never worked in the 9-to-5 grind. How did you ever get sick of it in the first place? Second of all, your passion is making courses on how to make courses? There's any living human in the world who has that as a passion? Girl, if you say so. Becoming your own online course business owner is your ticket out. I mean, I guess at least she's not selling Amway. I'll give her that. In my online course master training, you will learn how to overcome limiting beliefs and mindsets that are keeping you from success. Well, I don't have any of those. I already am overconfident in myself, so I don't think I need that part. Set goals that are truly in line with your passions and skills. Okay, you're going to teach me goal setting? I already know how to set goals. What else am I going to learn? Come up with a profitable course topic even if you have no ideas. Wait, so the whole idea is that I'm just going to sell a course. I'm not even passionate about teaching. I'm not even passionate about a particular topic. I'm not even an expert in some area of knowledge that I feel so compelled to share with the world. I'm literally just making a course to make money.
A lot of money.
What about the consumer, Bethany? Here's the issue with a lot of this girl boss culture stuff and a lot of the course selling is it completely forgets about the end customer. It's the same way that MLM companies do it because there is no end customer. There's only a next customer, and the next customer is someone who's also a salesperson. So when you have this language that's stuff like, we'll help you come up with a topic even if you have no ideas whatsoever, all that sends to me is a million red flags that you don't know what you actually are passionate about, and that you're not teaching this because you have an important thing that there is a demand for. Remember NFTs, you guys? Nobody likes NFTs anymore, right? At least I sure hope not. If you're here, I hope you don't like NFTs. Anyway, the whole idea behind NFTs that was a big criticism that a lot of people, myself included, had was that they were this concept that was solving a problem that didn't exist. Every time someone who was trying to sell an NFT was out there trying to convince you that you needed it, they were always telling you that it would solve a problem that didn't exist. For example, some people would say, oh, NFTs are going to be great for art because they're a way to buy art digitally. And people would say, well, I can already pay an artist to just email me a high resolution file of the art, or just share it with me on Google Drive and give me access to it, and I can just pay them for that art. And they'd be like, well, no, this is different because, and there was already another solution to this problem. It was solving for something that didn't exist, but people who had already bought into it already needed people to feel like there was a demand for it. That's what this is feeling a lot like right here, and this is part of the issue that I have, because this isn't created to fulfill a need. You know, one of the business gurus that we followed on Your Morning Guru last year that we read a couple of his books was this guy Seth Godin. And I don't love everything about him, I don't agree with everything he says, but I do think that he was right about some things when it came to marketing in a way that actually targeted the consumer's demands. Because his whole metaphor was this thing about the lock and the key, right? When you want to unlock a door, you find the right key that goes into the lock that already exists. You don't just walk around with an already existing key and put it in a million different doors hoping that you find the door. And what that was essentially meaning was that when you have something you want to sell, it's not about you and your desire to sell something. It's about someone's desire to have something, and you are there to fulfill that need.
It's about the cones.
So when you have this whole thing where it's like, you're going to pay me to teach you how to come up with a profitable course when you have no idea whatsoever, that's showing that you're selling something not for the sake of the customer and not for the sake of actually building a business relationship, but you're selling something for the sake of wanting to make money, which, yes, we're all working because we want to make money. We're all selling things because we want to make money. But when it comes to choosing what we sell and how we sell things, you have to have the customer's needs in mind. Otherwise, there's going to be no demand for the product. And if there's no demand, and the only demand is other people demanding so that they can also make money, write, record, and launch your profitable course. Okay, so the idea here is that this course is going to be scripted content, right? If we're writing, recording, and launching it, it's supposed to be, I guess she's going to teach us how to make a webinar, I guess. This isn't going to be a course where we interact with students one-on-one, because if we're writing it ahead of time, that means it's scripted. Market your course through email and social media. Set your course on autopilot so that you can make money passively. I like how on what you will learn, number 6 is watch your webinar funnel work its magic to bring you sales on autopilot. This isn't something I will learn. You're saying I'm going to watch this happen, but you're acting like this is something I'm paying to learn. Oh my god, I love these modules. Unpack your why. Have a clear goal in mind. Why do you want to launch your own business? What do you want to offer future students? See, okay, that's at least thinking with the end customer in mind. I'll give her that. That lesson at least sounds like it. But then it goes right into, what do you hope it will have on your life? How will the extra income impact your life? Extra income impacts everyone's life positively. We all want to have more money in this world, except Jen Sincero. I reviewed You Are a Badass at Making Money. She has some weird hangups about money. Other than her, the rest of us all want to have more money in our lives by default. So this whole thing where it's like, you're going to learn about why you should make more money. We all know why we should make more money. More money means more ability to do anything, okay? Module 6, my target client. That sounds decent, actually, if she knows anything about it. I'll take the free webinar and we'll find out. And then, of course, as you scroll down, she has the buy now links once again. All right. When do I get access to the course? The moment you purchase it, which again means it's a self-study course where she's just going to give us pre-recorded content and she is not going to interact with us at all. There's going to be no interactive components. There's going to be no Q&As. We will be paying all of this money to have no access to the teacher of the course. Very frustrating. What if I want a refund? So sorry, we do not issue refunds due to the digital nature. There will be no refunds of any kind. That's an excuse if I've ever heard. What do you mean due to the digital nature? You could just revoke access from it and give a refund. Just because something's digital doesn't mean you can't give a refund. This course is for seriously committed students. If you're not sure if this course is right for you, send us an email. So nobody has been having more to say about this course than the subreddit Fundy Snark Uncensored. So let's take a look at what they have been saying about Bethany's course. This right here is saying exactly what I was thinking, which is on her Instagram page, what does multiple 5-figure plus creator mean? What do the comments think it means? I'm curious. Hundredaire, multi-hundredaire. Oh my god, I love that. So this was from earlier today where it says Bethany desperately trying to make sales this morning. It looks like someone got this email from Bethany where it says, "Hey, I get how terrifying it is to invest in your future. The first time I spent over $1,000 on a course, I was scared. I wondered if I would ever make the money back." Sounds like Bethany spent $1,000 on a course and doesn't want that to be a sunk cost, so now she's selling other people on courses. Guys, I just mentioned You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I can link my review of that up in the cards. You guys remember when I did a review of that? That's literally what Jen talks about in this book, but like Jen's also being equally a dumbass about it, right? Like in the book, Jen talks about how she wanted to coach other people, so she paid all this money to get coached by other people, and then she needs to now coach other people. And in the book, one of the things she recommends that her audience needs if they want to be successful is to pay a coach. So the coaching industry is a giant circle jerk. They just all have each other's hands on each other's dicks and they're just thrusting up and down in the coaching circle jerk, okay? The first time I spent over $1,000 on a course, I was scared. As you should be, Bethany. That's a lot of money to spend on a dumbass course. I had 3 course launches and made over 5 figures in each launch. The course has been running on autopilot since then and brings in money every single month without any promotions. Wait, she's had 3 course launches? I thought she launched a She Works Smart course. She did the Single Girl course the other week. What else has she launched? What's the third one? Also, Bethany is neglecting that one of the reasons she's probably made any money off of these courses whatsoever is that she has a giant following on social media, that she and her sister Kristen have become infamous as Girl Defined. And if you don't have her following, you probably won't be making as much on the course, and that there probably are some people who bought it just to review it for the internet, right? Like, I don't think the average person who buys it is going to be able to replicate that success. This person says, what do you guys think Bethany will do if no one joins her course? Any predictions? Personally, I think she's going to create fake students to really show us on this snark page. She's too prideful just to not do anything. Now, that's speculation. I have no idea if she'll do that or not. However, that's not that far off of what we've ever seen before on other creators who are trying to sell courses. You know, one of the first videos I saw that got me really invested in making this type of content on YouTube was, I've talked about this before, but Mike Winnett's video on the Contrepreneur, which he put out like 2 or 3 years ago now, like before I was really into making YouTube videos that much. So he put out that video, and in that video he went to all of these different like business guru type events throughout the UK where people were giving these conferences, they were putting on these shows, and throughout them they always had these kind of audience plants. They had these fake students who were there to kind of make it look like there was a ton of demand, so other people would get hyped and think, well, obviously if other people are wanting to buy this must be something good. People are actually interested. And they were making it look like maybe there was some level of scarcity or there was some level of high demand for it. And people were doing this at events in person.
Can you pick me up? I'm scared.
So we know, especially if people are going to go through the effort to do that in person, online it's way easier to do that there to create these fake students. A lot of courses are absolutely doing that, and I wouldn't put it past this one either. Now, this is a very recent post on Reddit where it says Bethany is now admitting that Girl Define's courses were about maximizing profits, and she's trying to convince other folks with ministries to create courses of their own to do the same. Okay, so here she's talking about what she and Kristen did with Girl Defined, right? So we remember Girl Defined is its own ministry. It is a ministry teaching women how to live biblically, to live in God and Jesus's image and all of that. I reviewed Girl Defined's book called Girl Defined on my channel. They have their own YouTube channel where they tell women that they're not dressing modestly enough and that you can't have sex before marriage or else you're a giant hoe.
You are.
And that you have to put your husband first and stay home with your kids. They have a channel about all of that stuff, right? They're also very homophobic and talk about how the LGBTQ community is wrong. Just all that kind of stuff. They have a whole channel for that kind of thing. And they were selling books through that. They were doing live speaking events with religious organizations and with like conservative organizations and things like that. And now over here, it looks like from the She Works Smart Instagram story, Bethany is talking about how Girl Defined became profitable in the first place. And she's like, we started selling and creating PDF books. We were hosting live events that had zero overhead charges. How did your live events have zero overhead charges? Unless you mean live as in live on YouTube or live on Zoom or something like that. Do you mean live over the internet? Because I did see them speak on stages in the past, and hosting an event where you speak on a stage absolutely has overhead charges, space rental, lighting, electricity, audio hookups, all that kind of stuff, right? But if she's talking about charging for people to go to Zoom sessions and things like that, then yeah, perhaps. So this poster here is talking about how, okay, is she admitting that Girl Defined was just a grift and a cash grab this entire time? Maybe. Let's find out. This isn't the sound nonprofit business advice she thinks it is. Well, I guess it depends what they mean by nonprofit. Do they mean as in like she's claiming that what she's running is a charity, or does she mean she's officially filing it tax-wise as a 501c3? So sometimes people think that I run a nonprofit and I don't. I run my company Forever Home Friends. It's linked in the description below if you want to see it, but basically I run a company that produces books and toys about real rescue dogs and now cats too. Our newest book and plushie, Max the Vampire Kitty, is now available, linked in the description below, y'all. But because what my business does is through books and toys and building those connections, it does raise awareness about animal adoption and things like that. And we do work with animal shelters, and we do donate 10% of our profits to animal shelters. So because of all of that, sometimes a lot of people will talk to me and ask if I'm a nonprofit, or talk to me about, oh, how do I file a 501c3? And I will say, I don't know, because I am an LLC. I am not a nonprofit, because nonprofits have a lot of additional paperwork that I have not done and things like that. So I'm just want to make sure I understand what they mean by that, because a lot of this stuff on the paperwork end of it can get kind of complicated. Excuse you, Bethy, but the first rule of doing girl boss capitalism in a God-honoring way is that you never talk about how you're doing girl boss capitalism in a God-honoring way. That's hilarious and also true. You're not supposed to say the words, it's all about maximizing profit. You gotta pretend that it's about making the world a better place, or advocating for the interests of an underrepresented demographic who will stand up for the interests of bigoted white women, or helping the poor. Any self-respecting soulless profit stooge would know this. I think you need to revise your plan a bit before you bring it to market, boss babe. Okay, I love how this comment is worded, and it's super true, right? Because Bethany's mistake here, like I was ranting about earlier, I was like, where's the focus on the end customer here? A lot of times when girl bosses, boss babes, and not just women, I'm not going to be misogynistic, boss bros too, male scammers, a lot of times when people who are in this self-help industry and in this personal development industry get to a certain level, they really do start talking about, yeah, I can sell anything I want. This is about sales. And they start being very open about it, which, honesty is a good thing. But also, when you're selling something, you want to frame it in terms of what value it's actually going to bring to the customer. And that doesn't mean to lie, because I really do think that Girl Defined as a whole is kind of a lie. Like, it doesn't really bring any real value to anyone. But you do want to create something that does bring value to someone, and then emphasize what value they're actually going to get from it, as opposed to being like, I need to do this job so I can make money. I don't give a shit if you need to make money. I want to know what you can offer me that I'm willing to pay you for. That's the free market. It's a commentary on capitalism, y'all. I guess it is officially a nonprofit, because everyone's talking about it as a nonprofit. Like, they're saying here, imagine talking about maximizing profit for a nonprofit. It says here, how to make max profit using your nonprofit. A course on how to get audited by the IRA by your BA business bestie. Oh my God, that's true. IRS over here like, oof. I do think that this comment here is pretty reasonable, and I do want to emphasize this just to talk about the differences between a charity and a nonprofit, because a lot of times people don't know the difference. This comment here says, I'm just going to jump in and say that nonprofits who sell products definitely do care about the product profit. The hallmark of a nonprofit isn't that they don't give a shit about how much money they make, but rather that any profit made gets put directly into the organization instead of being paid out to stakeholders. No individuals should be profiting, but the organization definitely wants to make a profit so they can expand their operations operations budget and invest more in their work. Every nonprofit operates differently. Some of them rely 100% on grants and donations and offer their services and products for free, and maybe just have a couple products for side cash that nobody is worrying too much about profiting off of. Others don't get grants or rely on donations and instead fund operations through internal revenue streams. I work for one such nonprofit, and it looks a lot like a regular business on a superficial level, but the key thing is that nobody makes any more money when profits go up. The organization just becomes financially healthier. You can be a legitimate nonprofit operating similarly to a business as long as there are no stakeholders in your profitability. Not defending Girl Defined, which is obviously stretching the definition of nonprofit to the breaking point, but I think there's a little bit of misinformation about how nonprofits operate going around. So I do want to say thank you to Carcinization Nation over here on Reddit for giving a good breakdown of that. I appreciate that. So y'all, I'm going to be taking the masterclass. I have decided I'm going to do it. Hopefully I can get this ready for next week. So the masterclass, I'm going to learn how to figure out my area of expertise, decide on a profitable course topic, and successfully launch with Instagram. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the course and I am going to learn to launch my course. I'm going to do this live with you guys next week. This is going to be so fun.
Do the thing again.
Oh my God, we're going to have the best time making this course. I cannot wait. So I joined the masterclass. I got access, guys. Stay tuned because next week we are going to be taking this course together. We are going to be launching our own Girl Boss course. Maybe mine will be called How to Be a Girl Boss. I'll figure it out. It's going to be great. I cannot wait to take this with you guys. This is going to be so fun. I'm honestly not shocked that the course is as expensive as it is. I'm appalled but not shocked. A lot of times we say, I am shocked and appalled, but I am just appalled, not shocked whatsoever, because oftentimes these girl bossery courses, and when I say girl boss, I'm also referring to boy bosses, bro bosses, them as well. Bro. A lot of these business guru and self-help type courses in general do tend to run in the thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Usually the $1,000 to $3,000 range seems to be where most of them end up, and $1,400 seems to be right around what we see a lot of, although sometimes a lot of gurus will sell them for $1,397 or something like that instead. But the prices we're seeing here seem to be normal for these courses. And what I find so frustrating about this is that a lot of times these courses give you essentially the amount of information that you can find in a book. Yes, she's breaking down the modules, but she's not giving us an idea of how much actual information is there. Is the amount of information there something that she could have typed up and published into a book that we could pay $20 for and get the same level of information, and that she's stretching it out instead to make it into a course? I've said this before, but this is one of the things that I really hate about this whole course culture that we have going around right now, which is this idea that if something is a class, well, we have classes in college. Classes are things you spend over $1,000 to take and you get credit for, because a class is something where you officially learn real educational material. You learn something real in class, whereas a book is just one object that you read and you only get one thing out of a book. That's like this very oversimplified view that I really hate, because a lot of times what courses are doing is they're just taking the information in a book and reading it out loud to you and sending you these videos and giving you worksheets to go with it and calling it a course, which I'm working on books that have worksheets and stuff like that in them, but I'm never going to sell them as a course because I don't think it's worth that much. I don't think it's worth thousands of dollars. I think these are books that are worth $20, $25 maximum, and I don't think that it's right to overcharge people by selling them on something that you're repackaging in a way where you can make it look like it's worth a lot more than it is. I think that's wrong to do to your customer. A lot of times, the thing you're paying for when you spend $1,000 on like a real course, like a college class or something like that, is one, either school credit that's going to go towards an actual degree or certification that you're going to get, and when it's not that, when you're just taking one, and you're not going to get any type of degree that you're working towards, you still usually get either interpersonal interaction with a professor where you're able to ask that professor questions. If you can't, even if it's like a large lecture hall with TAs, you usually get TAs giving you feedback on your essays and on your tests and things like that so that you know what you did wrong. There's usually office hours available where you can sit down one-on-one and get feedback and your questions answered directly by an expert. There's usually some level of interaction with others that leads to you being able to have a more individualized approach where you can learn a lot lot more information. It's just a completely different setup with a completely different set of learning goals. And that's why I really hate when people make these courses and price them the same way as something like that, when what you're actually getting in real value is not at all the same thing. I just think it's such a scammy way to go about it. And now we've got a course on how to build courses. Maybe we can sell more courses. Maybe the course that we'll all make from this course is going to be another course on how to make courses, and then we can sell our course on how to make courses to other people until the end of time has come and no one has ever learned anything real other than how to all sell courses to each other and jerk off each other's courses in a circle. Maybe that's all we're going to learn. I don't know, but let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. I will see you guys again later this week, as well as next week when I'm going to take this free webinar and let you guys know what I thought of it and start building my own course. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, guys, keep on supporting legitimate small businesses and have a great start to your day. Bye!
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago. You guys asked for it.